Benson Boone at Brisbane's B105. Stav, Abby and Matt.
For the first time since the 90s, Queensland teachers will walk out of the classroom twice in 1 year.
Yes, you may have heard there's going to be a teachers' strike, the second one in a couple of months. It's happening on Tuesday, and it's all to do with the members actually rejecting the offer of 8% over 3 years. We just heard from some incredible teachers, which I guess not just the pay rise, but also conditions is what they want to improve. And we thought, well, we need to actually hear it from the other side.
That's right. The Minister for Education and the Arts joins us this morning, John Paul Langbroek. Thanks for calling through to the show, mate.
Hi guys, how are you? Good to be with you.
Now, what's going to be your response? Is there going to be trying to have some quick negotiations so that we can prevent the strike, or is this a foregone conclusion that it is going to happen on Tuesday?
No, it looks like it's going to happen, Abby. We just already had negotiations that have happened for 8 months now, gone through all the processes where we just do it between the Department of Education and the union. Then we go to conciliation, which is in front of a commissioner. We've put our best and final offer. The union told their members that it was our best and final offer, and then 30% voted for it, 40% didn't vote at all, but the majority of people who voted against it. So we've said, well, we've got to go to arbitration now. I know it sounds confusing for your listeners and for you, but it goes to arbitration, but that can take quite a while, and it could happen if the union agreed to go now to do arbitration.
John, would you say that 8% is enough? Because I remember the headlines back in 2023 where it was the politicians by an independent tribunal got awarded 11% pay rise over 3 years. Do you feel like with politicians get that and teachers get 8%, that there could be an equal amount maybe?
Well, I can see where you're going, but 2023 was the last time that the last government gave them a pay rise, and they didn't meet what inflation was at the time. So I think that the build-up of frustration from the teachers' union is because of that hangover from when inflation was 8% and they were getting 4%. No wonder they feel like they're coming behind. But the 8% offer we've made includes that if inflation goes to 3.5%, they can get up to 10.5 over 3 years.
Right. Of course, not just about the money, though. A lot of their complaints are about the shocking conditions in classrooms.
Exactly. And we know that how frustrating that's been because we heard about it over the 9 years, 8 months and 26 days we were in opposition. Behaviour in classrooms, bullying, red tape. And so we have done significant announcements, and I've been to lots of schools and I'm going to some today where we hear about the effects of that behaviour boost money, removing red tape and trying to help with bullying and asking parents to get involved as well.
I guess it wasn't just bullying. A lot of the teachers were saying they're concerned about safety and they're having students actually strike them. There is a physical component to it as well.
Yes, I know. It's terrible. And we don't accept that there should ever be violence in schools, which is why with behaviour, it includes things like having psychologists and social workers, youth workers, anything we can do to try to help, as well as involving parents, to say it's not appropriate to be striking out at people. We've got increasing work cover claims for both physical claims and mental health. So we know it's a major issue, but we've been in the government for a year and teachers have been complaining about this stuff increasingly for a long, long time.
It's an interesting thing, the whole concept of this too, because we are in the middle of a worker and I guess, let's say boss, because you guys pay them, and their pay dispute, like we feel so emotionally invested because it's the teacher of our children. You know, I'm sure there's hospitality workers out there who would love us to have this passion for them as well.
Well, the hospital workers were like, wait a minute,
or them,
please.
Them too.
Yeah.
But I think the question probably is, John Paul, where does the money come from? Because we have so many initiatives as well, and you know the government obviously is working to try and get budget sorted. Where would we get the extra money from?
How do you mean the extra money for the things we've already announced?
For the teachers. Like I'm saying, like if they want more money, like how would we have to try and get that money together for them?
Oh, well, that's something that I have to go to Cabinet. It's called the Cabinet Budget Review Committee. And we sit there, as we've done with the nurses and midwives, and as we've done with the police. The police accepted this, what's called the State public sector wages policy, and it's 8% over 3 years. So other unions have accepted it. The nurses and midwives was slightly different because it's a four-year pay scale. But anyway, the bottom line was the Premier was very clear, David Crisafulli, at saying this is the state's public sector wage offer, and other unions have accepted it. This union won't accept it. And so we're now in this sad situation where Year 11s are going to be affected next week when some of them are going through assessment. And I've heard from teachers who are going to be on camp and they're not sure about that now. There's no doubt that if we went to arbitration, we could start the process of sorting it out finally.
You sound frustrated, John.
No, I'm not frustrated. I'm frustrated that people, for a long time, people are saying it's not about pay, but the pay is pretty significant. $100,000 for every teacher currently teaching by the end of this agreement. $135,000 for senior teachers, and that our beginning teachers will be the best paid in the country. And then, of course, there's the conditions that we acknowledge have been a concern. We know that behaviour is a problem, and we know that bullying and the effects on teachers is a problem as well. So we have tried to mitigate that by helping with more resources going into schools.
And that's a complex one that is going to take time to be able to resolve when it becomes to behavioural things, because it didn't happen overnight either.
No,
it's a societal thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we've seen it since COVID. We never used to see signs in the supermarket saying, please treat everyone with respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You can't really just tell everyone to chill because,
Just be kind.
my husband says relax. It generally doesn't work as well.
Really?
So,
I reckon he should
really
keep
doesn't.
keep trying.
John, how many people are in the negotiations? Like, is it one sort of room? I know this sounds so specific, but is it just... Is that how it works? Is it face to face?
No, it's a great question, because if people think and they write to me as though I'm sitting in there going, no, I will not give you that.
Yeah.
No, it's like done at like arm's length. The Premier doesn't sit in the room. We have industrial relations people, like from the Department of Industrial Relations. And so we negotiate with the union, but then it does go into a room where there's like a industrial relations commissioner who does this thing like mediation. Like some of your listeners will know about mediating, where you go, well, look, we're going to bring you two together and let's see what the offer is. And that's exactly where the offer then came out, which then got put to a ballot.
Would you say the union is a big problem?
Well, the union have a right to represent their members. So we don't say they're a problem. We have to work with the union. And that's why you can tell my tone is that we respect that they have a right to do what they're doing, but we do think it has a side effect on the people who they are trying to help, which is their students and their parents. Next Tuesday, it's going to be a significant day when people have this dilemma about what are they going to do with their kids, even though schools will be open. And school's still going for another month. It's not like if it wasn't important the last month, we wouldn't have the last month.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
So
that's a very good point.
Next Tuesday, they should all listen to B105. We'll be doing educational stuff all day long.
We've never in the last 14
time
years
to
we've been
start.
together. Okay, we'll start. We'll totally start.
I'm dumber
Abby?
than I was when I started.
Raise your
I
hand
think
if you
you're
have a
the
question.
I think you're
We're the
doing the
arts.
arts.
That's a good point. Yeah, leave the education to the educators.
John, just finally, I know we've taken up so much of your time, but what do you recommend for the students that are doing exams, whether it is Year 10 or Year 11? Are they going to be postponed, or are that still to be discussed?
Well, they'll be done on an individual basis in schools. We ask schools to work out with a bit of notice whether they can either postpone them or still have supervision, because schools will still be open. Principals make sure that schools are staffed with the staff who are not involved in the strike. And so we do want people to know that there are still provisions made, and we need to make sure that students are not overly stressed by it. Last week when they threatened to strike, it was the Year 12 exams, and that would have been major. And the union finally pulled back from that because it was math methods, Italian and French, and that was going to be a much more difficult thing for kids in Year 12.
Yeah.
Well, mate, thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah,
Really
appreciate
appreciate you contacting the show.
Yeah, great to be with you.
Good on you, mate. There we go. John Paul Langbroek, the Education Minister. And I just want to shout out that we do actually play educational songs on this radio station. So just remember that.
If you listen to the whole lyrics of that,
Yeah, it's educational. You learn the language.
Well, I've been singing it in the car, but
Yeah.
not even
and,
when the
and look
song's
at your
playing.
kids. They know every word there is to know.
It's very colourful. Yes.